I mentioned before that nature-related risks can be split into physical, transition, legal risks. So to bring this to life a bit, let's think about these risks in the context of a Canadian forestry company. So your physical risks, these arise from the degradation of nature and can be acute, so sudden, or chronic, which are more long-term. So for a Canadian forestry company, acute risks might include wildfires, which are exacerbated by climate change, which can become more frequent and severe. Think about the recent and devastating fires in California, for example. And then you have chronic risks, which could include rising temperatures and shifting precipitation patterns, which can change forest composition. And a change in forest composition might make some tree species more vulnerable to pests. And both of these acute and chronic risks can disrupt operations and lead to substantial financial losses. Physical risks are being recognised. In the World Economic Forum Global Risk Report 2025, which was released just the other week, extreme weather events ranked second after state-based armed conflict as the risk most likely to present a material crisis on a global scale in 2025. And on a 10-year horizon, environmental risk categories were the top four, with biodiversity loss and ecosystem collapse second. So moving on to transition risks. Transition risks result from a misalignment between business strategy and decisions and actions aimed at protecting nature, such as through changes in regulation, investor sentiment, or consumer preferences. So a Canadian forestry company may face regulatory and market pressure to adopt sustainable practices. It might also be or become subject to increasingly stringent federal biodiversity protection laws, such as limits on deforestation, stricter habitat preservation rules, etc. And then finally, legal risks. So these tend to arise from the mismanagement of physical or transition risks and could include complaints, regulatory action, or litigation against companies for impacts that they are having on ecosystems, or misrepresentation or mismanagement of nature-related risks. The one final point I would like to make is that nature risks manifest, and the way that they manifest will depend on the sector a company operates, its scale, its geography, its supply chain, and a host of other factors. So there's no kind of one size fits all.